Hey, it's Brandon here, owner of the Invader Pet channel and author of the webcomic Pet Projects, which you can find at invaderpet.com. Um, a couple days ago, I went and saw the Peanuts movie, and see, I have a little drawing here of Snoopy, and I don't know if you can see that too well. Here, let me just move the camera a little bit so you can see my little drawing of Snoopy. Yeah, it's not a very enthusiastic looking Snoopy. Um, well, that's pretty much my feeling of the Peanuts movie. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go right out and say it. Okay, it wasn't bad. It's um, I might drop a few spoilers here while discussing the film here. Um, although I don't think there's really anything to spoil. It's Peanuts. But now here's the main problem I had with the film. Okay, first of all, it's basically just a Peanuts movie in CGI. That's really all there is to it when you get down to it. Um, the plot of the movie, if you haven't read about on Internet Movie Database or any other movie website, it's basically Charlie Brown trying to get the attention of the little red-haired girl. That's it, nothing else. Well, okay, there is like this subplot where Snoopy has like this, where he has the fantasies where he's fighting the Red Baron and all that. But that's that's I think that's a real problem there. I mean, I know that in the original comic and plus in the a couple of the TV specials and also maybe some of the TV shows, like the Charlie Brown and Snoopy show. There was Charlie Brown, trying to get the attention of the little red-haired girl. But there's for like a movie that's like 90 minutes, and there hasn't been a Peanuts movie since I don't know the late 80s, I think. Uh, that to me was a huge mistake on the screenwriter's part. And I know one of Charles Schulz's relatives was involved in the writing, and some of his relatives helped produce the film. So, and I mean no disrespect to any of them. I'm just saying that if you're going to make a movie based off Charles Schulz's work, and you want to do something that audiences are going to really like and appreciate. Well, okay, this is just my opinion. I'm sure a lot of people have stated they like the Peanuts movie and all that, but to me, the only thing that's different here is the Peanuts characters are in CGI, and that's really the only difference there. And to me, that's just not a good enough draw there. I mean, you look at the other Peanuts movies that they made. There was A Boy Named Charlie Brown, the original one, and that was about Charlie Brown entering a spelling bee. And I know there were other things going on in that movie. I haven't seen it in years, but I know for a fact that it was a film where, there were a few plots going on, and it kind of felt like an actual movie. And there was, of course, Snoopy Come Home, where that's the one where Snoopy leaves because his original owner is very sick, and Snoopy decides to live with her. And Snoopy goes on. It's almost like a road trip film for Snoopy in Woodstock. And there were a couple of other films, like there was Race for Your Life, Charlie Brown, where they're like in a summer camp there, and there's all these different adventures there. But this film, there hasn't been a Peanuts movie since the late '80s. I think. I don't know the exact year when they stopped doing them, but it's like you're going back to square one basically with this film. It's like I think they must have really struggled with what kind of film they should put together for this. And I don't know what it was. Maybe they thought, well, maybe let's just go to familiar territory. People know that Charlie Brown likes their little red-haired girl and wants to try and get her attention. Let's just make a whole movie based on that because that's what Peanuts fans are familiar with. But that's still a huge mistake there, because this is a 90-minute film, and it's that plus the fantasies with Snoopy trying to shoot down the Red Baron. And that's just another problem right there, with the Snoopy. It's all of his fantasies are really just one thing, him fighting the Red Baron. And in the comic strip plus the TV specials, Snoopy would have fantasies on very, very different things, and they could have done something like that. This is a CGI movie, take advantage of that. I think they should have just done something different plot wise. Maybe there could have been like an interesting three-act structure. Uh, like what they did with the Three Stooges movie, which I thought was pretty funny. I know there are people out there that hate it, but I thought it was okay. And I thought that maybe this film could have done something like that, where three-act structure, maybe three different stories or something like that. But something that would seem really good for a big screen movie, not just Charlie Brown tries to get the attention of the little red-haired girl. What kind of time constraint were they on to write this film? It's just there aren't too many films where I paid money for and watched them and walked away thinking I wasted my money. That hasn't happened very often, but this was one of those instances where I thought they could have done better. They could have done a lot better. I mean, even with the Star Wars prequels, I didn't feel that way. Even with Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, I didn't feel that way. This film is one of those movies where I felt I should have just kept my money, and saved it for something else. Saved it for gas money, and it's that's really tough when a movie makes you feel that way. You feel like you just got robbed. You feel like you got rooked. And I think I know a lot of, like I said, a lot of people seem to like the Peanuts movie, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I think the mentality is, well, it's a kids movie. Who really cares? It was made for kids, and it wasn't really made for us. But well, okay, that may have been true, but I think that the people making this film should have, been inclusive of adults who have watched the original TV specials, have watched the original TV shows, and of course have read the original comics. And also, a lot of the kids today, if their parents are fans of Peanuts fans, more than likely the kids have already been exposed to the originals and they've already seen Charlie Brown try to get the attention of the little red-haired girl and plots like that. So I wonder how some of the kids think, upon seeing the film. Did any of them feel the same way? Like, well, we've seen something like this before, so why are we seeing it again? The only difference is that it's in CGI. That's and um, or who knows? Maybe they don't care. I don't know. I don't really know what kids think. I don't have kids, so and I'm not usually around them. So, well, is there anything that I did like about the film? Well, the CGI itself is pretty good. I mean, they did a pretty good job of taking these comic strip characters, and everybody knows what they look like when they're drawn or in hand drawn animation or as a comic strip. And the animators did a pretty good job of making them work in CGI, but at the same time keep some of the designs, like the eyes look a little off center sometimes, like when Snoopy is at a semi angle profile, his eyes still look like they're on one side of his head. Little things like that. Uh, there was a lot of detail done on the CGI, like the character's hair, like on Lucy or Peppermint Patty. It's like you can tell that they added like a whole bunch of different individual hairs there. It looks like real hair. That's kind of interesting. The CGI on Linus, his design, I think could have used a little work. His hair looks kind of weird to me. I kept thinking that every time Linus was on screen, like they made his hair look a little too thick, I thought. Which maybe they thought, well, maybe it'll look weird if he doesn't have that much hair, so let's add a little more, make it a little thicker. but then again, Charlie Brown's bald, so there and there were some funny moments throughout the film, and like like there's one of those jokes about Snoopy has his dog he gets a lot of there's a lot of room inside his doghouse. And you wonder how can that be possible? Where he goes into his doghouse and he throws out a bunch of crap out of his doghouse, like a grandfather clock and a painting and things like that. Those are some funny things. Those are some jokes that I laughed at. I also like the part where Charlie Brown becomes a celebrity and his sister tries to cash in on it. That was pretty amusing. And um, but other than that, it was a film that just kind of goes through the motions. It was sort of like one of those slice of life kind of movies. It wasn't really a movie that I felt really invested in. Another problem I had was, yeah, I know Charlie Brown is the main character, but that doesn't mean have the film focus entirely on him. I mean, it was called the Peanuts movie, and you think to yourself that that should be inclusive of all the characters, like Lucy, Pepper and Patty, Marcy, Pigpen, and all of the others. And yeah, they do have screen time and they are all there and they have a few jokes here and there, but not a lot was really done with them is the thing. They still didn't think like they were too involved. It's like there are a few moments where they kind of help Charlie Brown out on something or they're just there to make fun of him and you kind of get a sense that the filmmakers were thinking, all right, we did something with this character. Now let's move on back to the plot. And here's another thing I wanted to talk about. Another problem I had, and again, going back to the whole taking too much from the original comic strip and the TV specials, uh, they actually reused and rehashed a lot of jokes from the TV specials, particularly the Christmas special. Like there's a scene, where how Lucy has the psychiatrist stand and she demands 5 cents and Charlie Brown puts 5 cents in, and she does a whole nickels, nickels, nickels thing. Oh, that sweet sound of cold hard cash. Yeah, that was funny in the TV special because there's this little kid that's making a huge deal over 5 cents, and um, and it shows you just how greedy Lucy is. That joke is done in the movie, and you think to yourself, well, maybe they added something new to this joke. Maybe they added a little spin to it. Maybe they created another punchline to it. No, they didn't. It's just that joke with her saying, "Oh, nickels, nickels, nickels," and all that. Nothing new was added there. And there's another joke in the original Christmas special where Lucy gets licked by Snoopy, and she goes, "Ah, I've been kissed by a dog. I have dog germs. Get some disinfectant." That joke is done in this movie. And again, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, they must have done something new. They must have added something. They must have done like added a twist to it because this is a new movie. Nope, it's pretty much the same joke, only in CGI. And there's just little things like that that kind of bothered me. Like, we've seen this in the TV specials, we've seen this in the comic strip. Couldn't you have done something new? I mean, to me, it would be like if Warner Brothers announced they were going to do like a CGI Looney Tunes film, and the only thing that was different about it was that it was in CGI, and the plot wasn't original, and like uh, most of the jokes were taken from the original Looney Tunes shorts, and there wasn't a lot of new material there. It'd be like if they did that. That's kind of how I feel that the Peanuts movie was. But I think the only real good thing that I really liked about it was the CGI animation on the characters was pretty good, and there were a few funny moments here and there. But if you're a Peanuts fan, if you like the original Charlie Brown specials and the TV shows, it's just stick with them. This film, you're not gonna. You didn't really miss anything. Is the thing. It's really just a Peanuts movie in CGI, and that's all I really have to say about the film. And I mean, like I said before, I mean this image here, this drawing I did of Snoopy, this really crappy drawing of Snoopy, that pretty much sums up my feelings about the whole thing. Yeah. Uh, so, if you were planning on seeing the film, I don't know, maybe my comments here, they might make you make your own decision if you want to go see the film. If you have kids and they want to go see it, fine. But if you're an adult that likes Peanuts, that likes these characters and likes the original specials, and if you think that, oh, I'm gonna be see something new, you're not really. It's just a Peanuts movie in CGI, and that's it. And that's all I wanted to talk about. It was just my thoughts on the Peanuts movie. But if you want to see it, you can go see it. Maybe you'll like it. Everybody else seems to like it. I've heard a lot of people said good things about it. Animation historian Jerry Beck, I think he said he liked it. Uh, and But I personally felt robbed is the thing. Uh, well, that's all I have to say, and I am going to head off for now. And thank you for watching. And I'm gonna go watch the Charlie Brown Christmas. See ya.